She didn't flinch when she said it. Not a blink. Just stare at me across the long glass table, her perfectly manicured fingers tapping her sleek pen like a judge delivering a sentence. Fate, I thought, cold and inevitable. We don't need regular translators anymore. Even Google Translate can do what you do. The room fell deathly silent. The HR manager shifted awkwardly in her seat. The legal counsel cleared his throat nervously. No one dared to speak. I gave her a smile I'd been saving for this exact moment. I wish you luck at your next meeting, I said calmly, palm final. Then I stood, buttoned my jacket, and walked out without another word. She thought she had won, but she didn't know the game had only just begun. I loved her once. God, how I loved her. Mara, my wife, my firebrand, the unstoppable force behind one of the fastest-growing tech firms in Europe. Sharp as shattered glass, beautiful as sin, ruthless when she needed to be. We built the company together. Her with vision, me with language. I was her voice in 7 languages, the bridge that connected cultures, the one who shaped every foreign deal and navigated every delicate nuance. But somehow it was never enough. The first sign of change was in her eyes. 2 years ago, when the money began to flow like a river and boardrooms started bowing to her name, not ours. Her smiles grew tighter, her answers shorter. She'd stay out late, return home smelling of boardroom perfume and excuses sharp enough to cut through steel. But I stayed. I translated. I supported. I bled quietly for her name. In the end, she fired me like I was nothing. The betrayal wasn't just personal. It was surgical, calculated. She'd had the IT team develop AI translation tools without telling me. At first, I thought it was innovation, progress. But no, it was a bullet with my name encoded in binary. She fed my decades' worth of linguistic expertise, cultural tailoring, and subtle diplomacy into a machine, and then decided she no longer needed a man behind it, just the code. It all became painfully clear during the meeting with the Japanese conglomerate I'd been preparing her for months. This deal could have launched the company onto the global stage. But these weren't ordinary businessmen. They were traditionalists, formal and culturally exacting. One wrong move, and the deal was dead. Then she made her move, fired me the Friday before the meeting, and scheduled it without a translator for Monday. I watched her destroy herself in silence. The weekend stretched long, but my plan was already in motion. I called Mr. Nakamura, not as her husband, not as her translator, but as a man of honor. I told him what she'd done, not to slander her, but to prepare him. He laughed softly, a sound heavy with sorrow, then said, "We do not partner with those who disrespect tradition." He didn't cancel the meeting. That's not how they operate. Instead, he chose to show up, to teach a lesson. Monday arrived like a blade sliding from its sheath. She stood tall in that power red suit she wore when she meant to conquer. I watched from the far end of the hallway, unseen, just another ghost of the company I'd helped build. They entered, 5 of them, regal and silent. Their translator stood back, arms folded, eyes absorbing everything. Mara greeted them with perfect confidence, smiling, bowing, too low, too fast. Mistake 1. She began her presentation. The AI translator fed their words into mechanical Japanese, hollow and flat, devoid of inflection, cultural weight, or soul, just empty words. Mr. Nakamura's face was stone when she raised a toast, offering sake served in Western tumblers. I saw the finality in his eyes. Then he stood, cleared his throat, and spoke slowly, deliberately, in a dialect only I had taught her to understand. She froze. The AI couldn't parse it. He smiled at her confusion. "Where's your voice?" he asked. "The one we respected, the one who knew our soul." She stammered, eyes darting desperately around the room. Then he bowed once, perfectly, and walked out. The others followed. A multi-million-dollar deal died in under 20 minutes. Her board was watching. I walked into her office that afternoon, not triumphantly, just ready. She sat in silence, staring out the window. The red suit looked like cracked armor now, worthless. "They pulled out," she said without turning. "I know you sabotaged it," she whispered. "No," I said quietly. "You did." She looked at me, anger flickering for a moment, but it couldn't find breath. You planned this. I nodded. I did. Since the night I saw you upload my files into that AI database. Since I realized you cared more about code than character. She didn't respond. What could she say? Translation isn't just words. I said, stepping closer. It's intention. It's trust. You broke both. Her hands trembled as she looked down. I left the divorce papers on her desk, signed clean. I'd already taken my shares quietly. The board would vote her out within the week. Not just because of the lost deal, but because they now knew she'd forgotten one crucial truth. The world isn't a machine. She didn't stop me as I left. Didn't beg. Didn't cry. She broke in silence. The same way she tried to break me. Now I sit by the ocean. My phone lights up with messages, offers, invitations, respect. Funny how quickly the world remembers your name once you remind them who taught it to speak. I gave her everything, love, loyalty, legacy. And all she gave me was a lesson. Never bet against a man who speaks the world's secrets and knows when to stay silent until it matters most.